How do I deal with a daughter who says she left Islam? If we give da'wah, she screams and goes to her room. Well, I mean, I don't want to say anything bad, but it seems like she's not raised in the first place, Islam or no Islam. If someone screams and goes to her room at her parents, then that's a big tarbiyah problem, which may have, the khalal in the tarbiyah may have led to her getting influenced by something outside of Islam. And that's not to hurt the questioner by saying that, but that's my immediate judgment on the matter. If you're saying someone screams at her parents and leaves and goes to her room, what do you mean her room? She's paying for it? A lot of the relationships are messed up in the first place. What is the nature of this relationship? You know, part of the reason is that the relationships are not established fully. Let's just say, for example, you have a son, and that son is now 20 years old, and he works, and he earns, and he's then 21, 22. Like you, Amr, you live with your mom and dad, right? And you earn and work and have been pretty much independent in your comings and goings, right? But nonetheless, your dad, even not only as a dad, as a landlord, you have rights. You owe him his rights, right? Even not by Sharia, at a certain point, you're an independent person. You can eat and marry as you wish. Go and come and work and not as you wish. But it's still his house. And you have tenant rights, responsibilities towards your landlord dad, correct? So even when a full-fledged adult lives with his dad's a landlord, and you're the tenant. So he has the right to put certain obligations upon you. Obligations and relationships like that is what begets humility. It results in humility. You need humility to learn and to be guided. So sometimes if you entitle too much, and entitlement started off as a good word, by the way. Entitlement meant that someone was thinking and had a good relationship with his parents, that he could ask questions, that he could learn why they do things or what's happening. So entitlement actually started off as something okay. It wasn't all something bad. But then it got taken so far off that that the parent-child relationship is gone, let alone landlord-tenant relationship. So if they actually moved out, they would actually have more respect for their landlord than they do with their parent when they live with their parent. All of this, it disallows a person to learn because the humility goes away. So I think that in a situation like this, Islam is not the first thing that you want to deal with. You want to deal with what is the relationship here. What do you mean you scream and go to your room? What does even her room mean? It's not your room. There's trust and there's authority and respect too. It's trust and there's respect. So if the respect is gone, it's not just that, it's authority. How about like when I was asked a couple months ago, getting my kid to pray? Well, it's just respect for God. How about if your grandma walks in and your feet are on the table? Would you accept it? How would you tell her? Would you say, all right, I'm going to crouch down and explain why we have to respect the grandparents? Yeah, maybe the first time. But eventually, bring your feet down. And you could tell someone to bring their feet down in many different ways, right? But what's the end result? You have to bring your feet down. You have to bring your feet down. Immediately, on the first time. Ask any person, Arab, Desi, any culture, even every culture, I think. You got your feet up, 7-year-old has his feet up, and grandma walks in the room. Feet's got to come down off the table. So how is that any different than praying to the Creator who made us? That's the rule. Even if say, okay, well, that's the rule of the house. That's it. We have to pray to Allah. That's the rule of the house. So I would honestly have to say the whole parenting style has to be redone, okay, and re-examined. It has to be trust, it has to be love, but it also has to be respect of authority. And I think respect of authority, all of them, they're all one. They're all mixed together. They have to be all mixed. You can't say, I establish respect only, but not love. Then you'll get a hypocrite. You can't say, I establish love only, but no respect. You'll get no discipline. Discipline, the most disciplined kid? The kid who doesn't have to be disciplined. If I'm home alone, I can sit scrolling and what they call now doom scrolling for hours. All of us can fall into that, right? But the moment you live with people, you can't do that anymore. All of us, if we didn't have work the next morning or any appointments, could stay up all night till 2 o'clock. Or get a job in which you have to be up at 8 o'clock or 7 o'clock. You stop doing that. So the most disciplined people are the people who don't have to try to be disciplined. And that's what parents should make their kids' life easy. You don't have to try to be disciplined because I'm putting these rules down. That makes your life easier. Instead of having to struggle against his own discipline or his own desires and temptations.
That was a bit anecdotal, but because I had a similar like experience with in my family, where it wasn't exactly like, oh, they're saying they're not Muslim or whatever, but a similar situation. We had a very far off young boy. Once they started getting like a good relationship with the family, they started to, get closer to Allah and stuff, and it just naturally happened. Like, but there was never a moment where there was da'wah being given. It was just simply the fact of, the relationship being mended, I guess. Respect being established between the family. And then slowly they start to integrate themselves into the family. Like, there's no big da'wah plan.
No da'wah. Osmosis. Osmosis of a combination of love and respect and trust. That's the best da'wah.
Like, a lot of parents, they spoil their kids. You need to show them like some sort of punishment just to make them realize like who's in charge.
Oh, punishment has been eliminated in the world of gentle parenting. I think punishment,
so good.
It does a lot if it's done right. No, it does a lot if it's done right. Yeah, because it makes the kid's life easier in the future. All right, I'm not going to do this behavior, not because I need a moral reason or I need to discipline myself. I'm just not going to do it because it's going to result in a hassle. It's going to result in something bad. It's going to result in getting my ear pulled or getting put into the garage or the corner or whatever, right? But you actually make the kid's life easier because you want to make someone's life hard, make him have to discipline himself in every step of the way. And that's, people think, oh, that's going to make them stronger. You discipline yourself. Not when a kid is young. It's just so much easier if the system and the structure of the building or of the relationship makes me not have to worry about that. Now I can focus on bigger things. In the United States, we don't have to worry about convincing the township to give us a permit. No, there are rules. If you follow X, Y, and Z, you will get the permit. It's predictable. If you follow X, Y, and Z and don't get the permit, you can sue. In Egypt, if I want to get a permit, I can do X, Y, Z all I want. I still have to convince and coax and bribe to get the permit. So the more easier we make the lanes of life, the more people can think of higher order things.
Also, like, just last thing, but be careful of how you're using the religion against your children. Because some people, they just, if you don't do this, you're going to go to Jahannam. Allah says you have to. And
Very true.
They're kids. He's just going to say, oh, I don't believe in Allah anymore. That's
Very
what
true.
the kid's going to do.
Very true.
So you have to be very tactical. Like, a lot of, I think, like, traditional families, like ACs, wherever, and maybe in Arabs, like, they'll do this. Oh, like, if you don't do this, Allah's going to punish you. Oh, you have to. Like, be very tactical with how you're dealing with your children.
You've seen a lot of this. Yep. Seen a lot of this.